Have you ever promised yourself that today would be different? Today would be the day you finally start that project. The day you begin exercising. The day you stop wasting hours scrolling through social media. The day you become productive. But somehow, the day ends exactly like yesterday. The task remains unfinished. The goals stay untouched. And you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. If that sounds familiar, you're not lazy. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions people have about procrastination. Most people believe procrastination is a time management problem. Science tells us something different. Procrastination is often an emotion management problem. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's that your brain is trying to avoid discomfort. And until you understand why that happens, you'll keep fighting the same battle every day. So in this video, we're going to uncover the psychology and science behind procrastination, understand why discipline feels so difficult, and learn practical strategies that can help you finally take control of your actions. By the end of this video, you'll have a roadmap to build stronger discipline and break free from the cycle of delay. Let's begin. Imagine two people. Both have the same goal. Both want to get healthier. The first person waits until they feel motivated. The second person exercises whether they feel motivated or not. 6 months later, who do you think gets better results? Most likely the second person. Why? Because motivation comes and goes. One of the biggest myths in personal development is that successful people are always motivated. The truth is that successful people often don't feel like doing the work either. They simply act despite how they feel. Think about that for a moment. How many goals have you postponed because you were waiting to feel ready? How many opportunities have you delayed because you wanted the perfect mood, perfect timing, or perfect circumstances? The reality is that perfection never arrives. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates motivation, not the other way around. Now let's talk about what procrastination actually is. Procrastination is the voluntary delay of an important task despite knowing there may be negative consequences. Your brain naturally seeks pleasure and avoids discomfort. When a task feels difficult, boring, stressful, or overwhelming, your brain searches for something easier. Checking your phone, watching videos, scrolling social media, cleaning your room, doing literally anything except the thing that matters most. Sound familiar? Researchers have found that procrastination is linked to activity in brain regions involved in emotion regulation and decision-making. When a task triggers stress or anxiety, the brain often chooses immediate relief. The problem is that this relief is temporary. The task doesn't disappear. It waits. You avoid the task. You feel temporary relief. The task becomes more urgent. Your anxiety increases. You avoid it even more. Have you ever experienced that? A simple assignment becomes a giant mountain because you've delayed it for weeks. A 5-minute task turns into hours of stress. That's the hidden cost of procrastination. But here's something encouraging. Discipline is not something you're born with. It's a skill. And like any skill, it can be trained. Let's explore what causes procrastination in the first place. One major cause is fear of failure. Many people delay action because they worry they won't perform well. They think, what if I mess up? What if people judge me? What if I'm not good enough? So instead of risking failure, they avoid starting. Ironically, the avoidance itself becomes the real failure. Another common cause is perfectionism. Perfectionists often believe everything must be flawless. If they can't do it perfectly, they struggle to begin at all. But perfectionism doesn't produce excellence. It often produces paralysis. A third cause is feeling overwhelmed. Have you ever looked at a giant task and thought, I don't even know where to start? That's overwhelmed talking. Another factor is digital distraction. Today, attention has become one of the world's most valuable resources. Every notification, video recommendation, and social media alert is competing for your focus. Technology itself isn't the enemy, but unmanaged technology can become a major obstacle to discipline. Studies have shown that constant interruptions reduce concentration and productivity. Even brief distractions can make it harder to return to deep focus. Now here's a question. How many times do you check your phone each day? Most people underestimate the number. Yet every interruption trains the brain to seek instant gratification. And instant gratification is one of discipline's greatest enemies. Let's talk about the warning signs that procrastination may be affecting your life. You constantly delay important tasks. You work only when deadlines become urgent. You feel guilty about unfinished responsibilities. You experience increased stress and anxiety. You struggle to maintain focus. You start multiple projects but rarely finish them. You spend more time planning than doing. If several of these sound familiar, don't worry. Now let's discuss how procrastination affects your health. Many people don't realize that chronic procrastination can impact mental well-being. Repeated delays often create stress. Stress can contribute to poor sleep, reduced energy, difficulty concentrating, and emotional exhaustion. Over time, the cycle can damage confidence. You begin to doubt yourself. You start believing you're incapable. But remember this. The problem isn't your ability. The problem is your habit pattern. And habits can be changed. So how do we build discipline? Let's start with one of the most powerful techniques ever discovered. Make tasks smaller. Much smaller. Most people set goals like write a book, get fit, start a business. The brain sees these goals as enormous. Instead, shrink the task. Write 1 paragraph. Exercise for 5 minutes. Work on your business for 10 minutes. Small actions reduce resistance. And once you start, continuing becomes easier. Starting is usually the hardest part. Another powerful strategy is the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Reply to the email. Wash the dish. These small victories build momentum and reinforce productive behavior. What makes this task harder than it needs to be? If you want to exercise, prepare your workout clothes the night before. If you want to study, clear distractions from your workspace. If you want to read more, keep a book visible. Make good habits easy. Make bad habits difficult. This simple principle can transform behavior. Let's talk about focus. Many people try to multitask. Research consistently shows that multitasking reduces efficiency. The brain performs best when focusing on one meaningful task at a time. Try setting a timer for 25 minutes. Work with complete focus. Then take a short break. This method, often called focused work intervals, helps maintain concentration without burnout. Here's another important lesson. Discipline grows through consistency, not intensity. Some people become extremely motivated for a few days. They work relentlessly. Then they quit. Consistency beats occasional bursts of effort every time. Would you rather exercise for 2 hours once a month or 20 minutes every day? The answer is obvious. Small consistent actions create extraordinary results. Now let's address a major myth. Many people believe disciplined individuals have stronger willpower. Not necessarily. Often, disciplined people simply design their environments better. They remove temptations. They create routines. They make productive choices easier. Think about this. If unhealthy snacks are sitting on your desk, resisting them requires effort. If they aren't there at all, the decision becomes easier. Environment influences behavior more than most people realize. Let's explore a practical example. Imagine Sarah wants to stop procrastinating on studying. Previously, she waited until she felt motivated. Most days, motivation never arrived. Then she made a change. Every evening, she prepared her study materials. Each morning, she committed to studying for just 10 minutes. Not 2 hours, just 10 minutes. The task felt manageable. Most days, once she started, she continued longer. Within months, her consistency improved dramatically. What changed? Not her intelligence, not her talent, her system. Successful people rely on systems more than motivation. Now let's discuss self-talk. The way you speak to yourself matters. Many people procrastinate and then attack themselves mentally. I'm so lazy. I never finish anything. I have no discipline. These thoughts create discouragement. Treat yourself like a coach. A good coach corrects mistakes without destroying confidence. Replace self-criticism with constructive language. I struggled today, but I can improve tomorrow. That mindset encourages growth rather than defeat. Another important strategy is accountability. Human beings perform better when someone else knows their goals. Tell a friend. Join a group. Track your progress publicly. Accountability increases commitment because actions Now let's answer a question many viewers may have. Can procrastination ever be completely eliminated? Probably not. Everyone procrastinates occasionally. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is reducing procrastination's influence over your life. Even highly successful individuals face resistance. The difference is that they don't allow resistance to control their actions. They move forward anyway. Before we continue, think about this question. What's one task you've been avoiding recently? Seriously, pause for a moment and identify it. Now ask yourself, what is the smallest possible step I can take today? Not tomorrow. Today. That tiny step may be the beginning of significant change. Let's quickly bust a few common myths. Myth number 1. Pressure helps me perform better. While some pressure can increase focus, chronic last-minute work often leads to unnecessary stress and lower quality results. Myth number 2. Action often creates motivation. Start first. Feel motivated later. Myth number 3. Disciplined people never struggle. False. Disciplined people struggle regularly. They simply act despite the struggle. Myth number 4. Procrastination means I'm lazy. Not necessarily. Fear, anxiety, perfectionism, overwhelm, and poor systems are often more significant factors. Now let's talk about daily habits that strengthen discipline. Wake up at a consistent time. Prioritize sleep. Exercise regularly. Eat balanced meals. Limit unnecessary distractions. Plan your most important task each day. Track progress instead of perfection. Celebrate small wins. These habits support brain function, energy levels, and decision-making ability. Remember, discipline isn't built through one heroic moment. It's built through hundreds of small choices repeated consistently. Every time you choose action over avoidance, you're strengthening a mental muscle. Every time you complete a task despite discomfort, you're becoming more disciplined. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're building trust in your own abilities. And that trust is powerful, because confidence doesn't come from thinking. Evidence comes from action. As we wrap up, remember this. Procrastination steals time, opportunities, peace of mind, and potential. Discipline gives them back. You don't need perfect motivation. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need to feel ready. You only need to take the next step. One small action. One promise kept. Then repeat. Because the future you want is built by the actions you take today. Not next week. Not next month. Today. If you found this video helpful, let us know in the comments. What is one goal you're committed to taking action on right now? Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who struggles with procrastination, and subscribe for more science-backed health, productivity, and personal growth content. Remember, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up consistently. And every time you choose action over delay, you're becoming the person you want to be. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. And before you leave, there's one final lesson that can completely change the way you think about discipline. Most people believe discipline is about forcing yourself to do things you hate. One path offers immediate comfort. The other offers long-term growth. The comfortable path feels easy in the moment. Sleep a little longer. Skip the workout. Delay the project. Ignore the goal. The growth path feels harder. Wake up early. Do the work. Practice the skill. Take responsibility. But over time, it often leads to frustration, regret, and unrealized potential. The growth path may feel challenging today, but it creates confidence, achievement, and freedom tomorrow. The question is, which version of yourself are your daily choices creating? Most people dramatically overestimate what they can accomplish in a week and underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. Think about where you could be 1 year from now if you improved by just 1% every day. 1 extra page read. 1 healthier meal. 10 minutes of focused work. A short walk. A small promise kept. These actions may seem insignificant today. Nature teaches us this lesson everywhere. Trees do not grow overnight. Muscles are not built in a day. Knowledge isn't gained in a single afternoon. Everything valuable grows gradually. Yet many people expect instant transformation. When results don't appear immediately, they quit. What if the problem isn't that you're progressing too slowly? What if the problem is that you're expecting progress to happen faster than reality allows? Patience and discipline are partners. One helps you keep going. The other helps you keep believing. Identity. They say things like, I'm not disciplined. I'm always late. I'm terrible at staying focused. I never finish what I start. The brain listens to these statements. Eventually, they become part of your identity. And people naturally act in ways that reinforce their identities. If you believe you're undisciplined, every missed workout becomes proof. Every delayed task becomes evidence. But what if you change the story? Instead of saying, I'm trying to become disciplined, say, I am becoming a disciplined person. Notice the difference. One focuses on struggle. The other focuses on growth. Identity-based habits can be incredibly powerful because they shift attention from outcomes to character. Instead of asking, how do I lose weight? Ask, what would a healthy person do today? Instead of asking, how do I stop procrastinating? What would a disciplined person do right now? The answer is usually clear. Take the next step. Now let's talk about setbacks. Because no matter how motivated you feel today, setbacks will happen. You will miss a workout. You will waste time occasionally. You will have unproductive days. That's normal. The danger isn't falling off track. The danger is staying off track. Many people miss one day and decide they've failed. Then one missed day becomes a week. A week becomes a month. A month becomes a year. Successful people recover quickly. They don't spend weeks criticizing themselves. They simply return to the habit. Think of discipline like steering a ship. A ship may drift slightly off course because of waves and wind, but small corrections keep it moving toward its destination. Your life works the same way. You don't need perfection. You need course corrections. When faced with procrastination, ask yourself, how will I feel tomorrow if I avoid this task? How will I feel next month? How will I feel 1 year from now? How will I feel if I complete it? This simple exercise helps your brain connect present actions with future outcomes. And that connection often strengthens self-control. Researchers studying behavior change have repeatedly found that people are more likely to take action when they clearly understand the future benefits of their choices. The challenge is that our brains naturally prioritize immediate rewards. That's why scrolling social media feels easier than studying. That's why watching another episode feels easier than exercising. The reward is immediate. The cost comes later. Discipline reverses that pattern. It accepts short-term effort for long-term reward. And that's one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. Let's look at another real-life example. Imagine a man named David who dreams of starting his own business. For years, he talks about it. He watches videos, reads articles, makes plans, but he never takes action. Why? Eventually, he decides to commit just 30 minutes every evening to building his idea. 30 minutes. Nothing dramatic. 1 year later, those small sessions add up to hundreds of hours of focused work. His progress isn't the result of motivation. It's the result of consistency. The lesson? Big achievements often come from ordinary actions repeated consistently over time. Now here's an important question for you. What are you repeatedly postponing because you're waiting for the perfect moment? A conversation? A fitness goal? A career change? A personal project? A dream you've had for years? What if the perfect moment never arrives? That realization has transformed countless lives. Because action creates clarity. Many answers only appear after you've started moving forward. Let's talk about energy management. People often focus exclusively on time management. But discipline also depends on energy. If you're constantly exhausted, productivity becomes much harder. Poor sleep, Chronic stress, lack of exercise, and unhealthy eating habits can reduce concentration and decision-making ability. Taking care of your physical health supports mental performance. Aim for quality sleep. Stay physically active. Stay hydrated. Manage stress when possible. These habits improve the brain's ability to focus, learn, and regulate emotions. In other words, discipline becomes easier when your body and mind are functioning well. Your future is being shaped by what you repeatedly do today, not by your intentions, not by your excuses, not by your wishes, by your actions. Every day you are casting votes for the person you want to become. Every focused work session is a vote. Every healthy choice is a vote. Every